earthers, concavers, globalists. It's the one conspiracy theory. You know, when you find out that other people are taking it seriously on the flat Earth thing. Gets you going, doesn't it? Makes you. Well, I suppose there's two reactions. There's people that go, wow. They can remember what it felt like when they were a kid, and then some teacher or someone just repeated the mantra. We live on a globe. And I remember struggling with it. I remember plain as day. I don't know who told me, but I can remember it was kind of a classroom situation. And obviously, it's not. You think about it a lot when you're a kid, but it all becomes a bit of a blur when you're older. Oops. But I remember that feeling when you're a kid, and it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't feel right, but you don't have the capacity to challenge the authority that's telling you that at the time. You don't have the you just kind of have to accept it, but you don't really. It is the ultimate one. It's interesting how the same things are tied into it. You know, there's the NASA thing, there's the whole evolution thing, but essentially I suppose, it very quickly turns into this conversation within or with other people about the meaning of life, you know, our existence, why are we here, what are we doing here, how do we all get here. Maybe those are things we're not supposed to know until we pass on from this physical existence anyway, but that's okay. We can deal with that. I'm not going to waste my time believing do a specific thing will get you to heaven or to a good place or a bad place, but obviously, for the most part, people want to leave this world a better place, I think. I don't know. Do people think about it much? So many distractions. So many things to keep you not thinking about that. Not thinking about the big picture. You know, the guys you see on YouTube, the flat earthers. I feel sorry for there's a guy the other day, he's been doing all these math diagrams and stuff, trying desperately in his mind to do something about this wave of idiocracy, ignorance, that's sweeping the internet. How can people possibly think that we live on a fish ship? You know, it's I can understand it doesn't make sense to them, but I feel sorry for them in a way as well, because I feel the frustration, I feel the torment that must be going on. How can these people be so idiotic? Isn't it obvious? Have I got to explain it? And you hear the same things. you see people commenting, so-and-so measured the Earth, or estimated the Earth's curvature when, back in 2,000 years ago, and he was not far off. Saying that Brian Cox says it over and over again. He also says, you wouldn't know the world was round unless we told you. They slip these things in there as if they mean nothing. So yeah, I do feel for them. I do feel for the people out there trying desperately to defend the globe. Don't drop the globe. Don't break it. More so than any other conspiracy theory. But I have noticed there are the guys. I suppose one thing as an observer I've assumed is that people who don't click with the flat Earth theory and everything that goes with it, they might well be conspiracy researchers in their own right. Mind you, it's sorting out the wheat from the chaff, isn't it? I've seen guys kind of who have built up a following, and then they come and attack the flat Earth theory without researching it first, without looking at what the flat earthers are saying or illustrating, and they just go on this all-out attack because they're so used to kind of maybe pointing out the folly in following a particular line of thinking in a certain conspiracy, and sometimes they might be right, sometimes they've got some interesting point, sometimes they've got a perspective that you might not have thought about. But with the flat Earth thing, I looked into this for several months before I even ventured on to, even clicking likes and commenting. I was very careful about that, just to what's going on here. But ultimately, you see a lot of guys out there who have obviously taken on the debate to look at some of those fundamental questions. So one of the points I wanted to make was that I've seen, if you go and look up Brian Cox or Neil deGrasse Tyson, Brian Cox especially, he's a kind of national TV celebrity in the UK. He's a scientist at CERN, but he spends a lot of time on TV and he gets called onto these talk shows and debates. And of course, the guy is an astrophysicist, and he has this wonder for the mysteries of life. He enjoys the subject, but he's got his science head on, but then he gets invited to all these other debates and question times and things about where people are expecting these guys to come up with the answers to more fundamental questions about life. What made us? Where do we come from? Why are we here? What is all this? And they spout their science and everything, and there's 5 theories officially for what happened before the Big Bang. Oh yeah? So you're just making it up as you go along, just like the rest of us. So round earthers, again, appealing to the round earthers to understand that flat earthers don't necessarily have a model, but there's this understanding, a definite model, but there's this understanding that you can have a theory and you can have an idea about how things work, and you can draw an illustration and do some math to make it fit. As I've been saying, this distance, objects getting smaller over distance, is the curve. What happens in our eyes with the parallel lines and everything, that is the curve. That's how they're able to say, there's a curve over there, that flat horizon, beyond that's a curve, and we just go with it because it's just easy. Oh, right, that's where the curve is. But gosh, when you start looking at it, and all you have to do, you don't have to go up high and everything. It seems doesn't matter how high you go, just go down low. Just get yourself down to ground level. See what happens. Just observe it. Just observe what happens to your view. And what's so trippy about it is it's unique to every person. I sit down, you stand up, and we've got completely different views of the horizon, completely different horizons. Nothing to do with any curvature. But I suppose that's it. The flat Earth debate is begging. You have to have extremism sometimes to slap people awake. Look at this. At least take a look. At least take a look. So yeah, I've seen quite a few of these, what might have been in the past successful conspiracy debunkers, and then they take on the flat Earth. They just, give them enough rope. I can't answer the question. I can't answer the mathematical questions that were put to me by, flat earthers. I can't do the math. But I can see how you can do it, and I can see how that makes sense. But that's not what we see. It's not what we see. The math can be... I understand. Math is beautiful. You get these beautiful equations. They all fit. You expect the world to be like that? Of course not. Life is a chaotic experience. Embrace the chaos. You're trying to put it all in straight lines and neat rows and stuff, and you're wasting your time, because it's like making a line of sand on the beach. It's just going to get washed away by the water. Can't. Yes, there's, it's beautiful, it's there, there's math, there's equations, there's angles, there's spirals, there's all this stuff in nature, which, is it created by math? No, it's created by consciousness, it's intelligent design. It's intelligent design.